Welcome to the session on geometry, types of angles. The objectives for this session are to recall the definition of an angle and recognize an acute angle, a right angle, an obtuse angle, a straight angle, and a reflex angle. An angle is formed by two distinct lines with the same endpoint, as shown in the diagram. The common endpoint is called the vertex, and the angle is denoted by O, or AOB, or BOA, given the notation in the diagram. Note in particular that O is labelled as the endpoint. The symbol for an angle is as shown. This is a protractor. It helps you to measure angles. We will use it in this unit to help us measure and draw angles of particular sizes. Look closely at this protractor. It is semicircular and has 180 equally spaced intervals marked on it. On the right-hand side is 0 degrees, and on the left is 180 degrees. In the middle, we have 90 degrees. Let's measure the angle in the previous example by using our protractor. Position the protractor so that its horizontal line is lined up with one of the rays, say OB of the angle, and the midpoint of the protractor is positioned at the vertex of the angle. Now look at the mark towards which the other ray of the angle is pointing. This value is the size of the angle. In our example, the angle is approximately 46 degrees. A 90-degree angle is a right angle. Angle ABC is a right angle, as the measure of ABC is 90 degrees. In this diagram, the angle ABC is an acute angle, as the measure of ABC is less than 90 degrees. This is also an acute angle, and so is this one. In this diagram, the angle LMN is an obtuse angle, as the measure of LMN is greater than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees. This is also an obtuse angle, and this one. In this diagram, the angle SQR is a straight angle which is formed by two adjacent right angles, SQP and PQR. So the measure of angle SQR equals the measure of angle SQP plus the measure of angle PQR. And this equals 90 degrees plus 90 degrees, which is equal to 180 degrees. Clearly, QS and QR are two rays in opposite directions with common point Q as vertex. In this diagram, the angle AOB is a reflex angle, as the measure of AOB is greater than 180 degrees and less than 360 degrees, i.e. 180 degrees is less than the measure of angle AOB, which is less than 360 degrees. This is also a reflex angle. And this one. This brings us to the end of this session. If you have understood its contents, you should be able to recall the definition of an angle and recognize an acute angle, a right angle, an obtuse angle, a straight angle, and a reflex angle. Thank you very much for listening. In order to understand this topic in greater depth, do attempt the exercises in your textbook related to this topic.